Hey, welcome to Creative Block. We're your hosts, V.
And Sean, aka Lord Spew, we talk shop with other creatives in animation and comics about things like finding your artistic path or the process of making art while we draw together.
We asked people on our social medias if they had specific topics they wanted us to discuss, as well as some drawing prompts. If you haven't yet, check out our Patreon and subscribe to our channel.
Today we are blessed enough to be in the presence of Matt and Megs, our special guests.
Yay. I
Hello.
don't know what to do with positive things, so that's what you can
It's a
get.
very nice introduction.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. We're very happy to be here.
There's two of you. I wasn't sure if it was one being named Matt and Megs or if it was two.
It was before, but just now we split into two.
Mitosis.
Yeah, yep.
Amoebas.
The Megs is much better looking than the Matt.
Oh gosh, why are you doing that?
I'm allowed to have
Everyone's
an
just
opinion.
complimenting each other and everyone's blushing.
Yes.
I think what's really incredible with what you guys do is that you have a YouTube channel and you also work in animation, and the quality and the quantity of the animation that you post is very impressive. I want to ask, when did you create your YouTube channel? That's the first question.
I think you're more versed in the beginning. We were just talking about this before we actually started. I think we made a video together first, and then
And then a
created it.
YouTube channel.
And then a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
Was there
We
a
made
fight
we made a
over
short
what
film.
channel it was gonna that first film was gonna be on? Like, no, I want it on
No,
mine.
it
No,
was
it's like
actually
a custody battle or something.
the first thing we ever made together was actually for our friends were starting a free animation education platform and
Discord, right?
on Discord, yes. And they like the group of students were making films. They were doing a month-long film challenge, and we decided to do the challenge to essentially show the students in the classes how accessible it is to make something for yourself.
Yeah.
And so we made a film in a month,
Wow.
and it was, I don't remember how long it was, but
I think it's 2 minutes.
2 minutes long. While we were both working over sort of like a December, we both made that, and I think we thumbnailed it. I don't know, like
First night.
couldn't have been like more than like less than, I feel like it was like 20 minutes, the thumbnail, like of writing it. We went, we're
Yeah,
gonna do this, and then
what were the responsibilities? Like, how was that divided up? Or you both just like sit there and like trade off on the pencil? Like, what was?
we both sort of just do opposite things. Like for
Mhm.
pretty much every single step, we do the opposite thing. So we both have experience storyboarding. There's so when we both sort of can, I don't know if I'd call it writing, but we can both put something together. So we both thumbnail. So either sometimes I'll thumbnail or Matt will thumb something, but we'll both thumbnail the process together, and then sometimes we'll board, sometimes we won't. Then Matt will animate the whatever we're making, and then I'll usually do the coloring, and that'll be for the backgrounds too. So Matt will do the drawing for the background, and I'll usually do the coloring for the background, and then I'll usually do everything that comes after that. So it'll be like the compositing, and I'll do all the sound design and the editing until we post it.
So what was that
Did
first short? No, you explained it. You explained
Yeah.
it great. I'm curious about what the first short was. What was the inspiration for making that one?
The main purpose of it was to sort of like demo, not really demo, but like show that making an animated film is easy.
Yeah, we didn't really think through it very
Did
much.
you prove that, or did you realize it was
There were
hard?
definitely a moment I was like, why am I doing this? I think it was when I was, because the thing we do specifically, we do hand-drawn animation. There's
Yeah.
not really any tweens, it's all hand-drawn. So
Mhm.
that also requires hand coloring the entire thing. And I think it was, I remember I was sitting on the floor on our like the living room table. I think I was watching Fantasia, and I was hand coloring the film, and I was like, why did we decide to do this?
Well, it was during Christmas break essentially. So
Yeah, so we had no, and because we were both working full-time jobs that were like pretty demanding at the time, we were only doing it on weekends and
Wow.
after work, and then over our holiday break. So we're like, we're not getting any break. Why are we doing this?
yeah, I think the nice thing about that one, I had I went to Cal Arts.
Hmm.
And whatever you may know or don't know about CalArts, I guess the main thing is probably that all the students are expected to try to finish one film a year. So after coming out of that experience where I made at least 3 films, probably 4 films if you include some other stuff, I was not feeling like I wanted to make a film ever again. Like I think
And
the way I
then,
looked at making things back then was like, okay, that's an idea. I like it, and it's also 600 hours of my life minimum. And I was just unwilling to that's a big disincentive to do
yeah.
something. But then luckily for this first film process, and I actually wonder if it went differently, whether we'd be making more stuff or not, but it was incredibly smooth. The way they had set it up, I think Tyler and Jess is our friends Tyler Chen and his wife Jess. I don't know if you know Tyler at all, but he had asked someone, a guest, Dana, to come and
Oh, pick a theme.
pick like a theme.
That's right.
So everybody was sort of waiting for this theme to come through.
I think the
Mhm.
theme was obstacle.
Yes.
That's what it was.
But
Yeah.
beforehand, before it came through, I think we were talking to each other and we both wanted to
I
do
would do something
something.
with a watermelon.
Yeah.
I actually just wanted to do something with a watermelon. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obstacle came and we're like, all right, whatever. We're doing something with a watermelon.
Yeah. And the thing will just be like an obstacle and we'll deal with it.
Yeah, and there'll be obstacles in the way.
So sometimes the only good a prompt is for is deciding we're absolutely not doing that particular thing. You know, it's still a direction, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
But yeah, we thumbnailed that in maybe 20 minutes. And then we made an animatic the next day and it was done. And then,
the next
I think that's
100
the thing.
hours were
I
spent
think
making
the
it.
thing about specifically is that essentially our day job is making animatics. So the
Right.
animatic process was very fast because we both just do that a lot. So
Mhm.
the boarding of it actually took like no time. And then we just were like, all right, we'll just make it now. There was no like notes process. We just basically straight ahead made the thing. And then most of it, I would say, was the animating and coloring of it. And then actually my sister and her friend made the music for it. And then, which was nice because we got to over Zoom a sort of like direct live performance
That's cool.
musicians,
Mhm.
which was really nice because it was actually during,
COVID?
wasn't it during COVID?
I don't know. Was it?
I can't remember anymore.
Uh,
But they were all in the same, they all lived together. So they were recording like around a mic, which was
Mhm.
really nice, having live instruments in it. And then, yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
that's how we made our
Mhm.
first film. And then I don't think we really considered making a YouTube channel or even really thinking about it. It's just sort of where we posted stuff. And the catalyst for that really was like Matt being unemployed.
yeah. I was rolling off of Tiny Toons.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then didn't have work for a while and felt crazy. I think this was also around the time that, like, at least for me, AI entered the consciousness of possibility.
That's right.
That
Mhm.
like I remember a specific night during this unemployment when I was playing Red Dead 2.
Yes.
And it's like Arthur riding with Dutch, and Dutch is like, Arthur, our time has passed. It's over. And I'm like, I can't play this anymore. It's over. I can't have that spread to like my life. I can't take any more of this in my video game image and in like how I'm seeing, life in the industry or in animation and all that stuff. But yeah, I think like I don't really have other skill sets. I'm a decent chess player, I guess. But like I
That's
can't
taking
think of
over.
anything else.
What are
Wait,
chess wages like in this economy?
I
You
don't
know?
know. I don't know.
There's like $1 play-in at like our local.
Oh right, yeah, I did like no, I'm not gonna say that.
No.
I made a kid cry. Anyways,
Aw.
yeah, like I
Wait, so
think
you just told probably the worst part of the
Only
story
the
without
bad
any
part and none of
context?
the
yeah, but not like yeah, you know.
we'll cut to the bad part.
Which I can say the story, which is that we walked into a game shop and they were playing chess, and there was a kid who was waiting to play. There's like tables that have ranked. You sit with like the rank, and Matt like essentially walked in off the street and then played this kid, and in it seemed like kind of destroyed him. And then the kid,
He made a mistake. It compounded. He got ate up.
But he got up and he went over to his parents and he said, "We're leaving," and then he left.
That's so.
We're like, we didn't
That
even come
rules.
here to play chess. Oh no.
I think we were just checking it out. But anyway, yeah, like I think it's one of those situations where there is no down, there's only up, or maybe there is down. Like there's nothing you can really do about it, so you still got to do something, and that something for
Yeah.
us at the time was just like, oh, I'll make stuff and we'll draw stuff and we'll figure it out. And we seem to have this good experience, where like the thumbs process, the outline process, the making of process was really good. And the nice thing about making something with Megan, really making something with another person, because I've only really made things by myself up until that point, was like I had a better and deeper appreciation for the thing I actually made. Because I think sometimes I'd assume most artists relate to this, that like you make something and if you're just making it by yourself, some of the emotional output you get is nothing but like criticism for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
this,
For sure.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like having made something,
I'm coloring it frame by frame, and I'm like, oh, I really like this drawing you did.
Oh, that's
Yes.
so sweet.
and like I would pish tosh that even now, but like I would say at the end of making the film, I still like really like the first thing that we made, and I think it really holds up,
Mhm.
and I'm really happy with it. And I thought that it would be easy to make more stuff together, and that is both true and not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just kept going from there, I think.
I think that something that gets lost sometimes as illustrators or animators or whatever, especially if you're working remotely, is you end up working in this little bubble, and over the years, art turns into a job, and it turns into a thing that you have to pump out, and you end up losing track of the social aspects of art.
Mhm.
And I mean, one of the reasons why I've always liked doing an interviewing drawing show is the way that I've always viewed drawing was socially. Like I like I like drawing a meme or a reaction and sending that in a text instead of just typing a word. I I remember bringing like a cool Dragon Ball Z picture I drew to school to try to make a friend. Like it's always felt like that to me. So I'm not surprised that when you guys made something together and it felt like oh, like we don't have to be alone in this, it's like a conversation. I'm not surprised that it was a positive reaction.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting it. Maybe that's how it was surprising, because I don't really think about the stuff I make after I make it. It's almost just like it's out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a nice poo I get to flush.
But I think I relate to that more probably.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever really related to people who have like a really large passion for drawing or being in animation, or I don't feel like I've really had
Mm-hmm.
that like, oh, I really want to do this. Like I don't think I'm just interested in a lot of things. So I don't think I've ever had that. And so the feeling of like what is like expressing myself, I think the closest I ever got to that was maybe like writing letters to people. And like I'll like decorate it with stickers and put drawings all over it. And it's sort of similar to what you're saying about drawing something and then sharing it with someone. So it's like that
Mm-hmm.
part of it, I think, is the thing that I like more than like I don't think I've ever felt like, oh, I really got to express myself and put my
Yeah.
opinion out there.
How did you end up in animation if you weren't like consumed by it, I guess?
I was actually gonna go to school for classical flute. Is what I thought I was gonna go to school for.
Oh.
And then I was like, I don't think I can do this. Sitting in a practice room. I don't want to do this
No.
anymore.
Ah.
And I just did a lot of stuff, so I think I don't even think I was really that good at drawing. And then I don't even know. I just think I was just interested because I actually went to school for computer animation.
Mm.
So
I mean, like CG.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I really understood it at all. I just thought school was like you go to learn something you don't know anything about, is what I thought school was.
Ah,
Which
ah.
Oh, I mean,
it sort of is, but in a lot of other ways it's more like job preparation, I think, for a lot of, at least the school I went to was very much like that. But I think I was like, this is really interesting. I don't know anything about this. Why not? And then I sort of just like visited schools and asked them what they needed for the portfolio
Mhm.
requirements. And then I just did exactly what they told me they needed and somehow got into college through doing that.
What was the school you went to, by the way?
I went to Ringling in
Nice.
Florida.
oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I started out going to for 3D too. I originally
Hmm.
wanted to do like kind of like fine art y stuff
Hmm.
with animation, and then I ended up realizing that it was more satisfying to make people laugh for me personally,
Hmm.
like the reaction that I got from people felt better. But yeah, I
You can make
relate
people laugh
to
with
that.
fine art.
That is true. I think that
There's
the
probably less of a culture
response
of it.
the response more often was I found that I was relying on getting motivation from people saying like, "Oh, this is very technically well done and
Mm.
beautiful. You're very talented," versus like someone just having like a laughing reaction.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
the laughing reaction felt better for me.
Mm.
I think that's
Less
something really
selfish maybe.
particular with like animation actually, because you can just play it and see
Hmm.
someone live react to what you've made.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting
Oh,
because like it took me a while to figure out like, oh, we're trying to make people laugh in some way. Like
Actually,
I
the first time I really understood that was when we played one we used to make these like really intricate looped videos, which I is so complicated and I don't really have interest in making those again. But we would watch our friend's daughter watching it, and seeing her react to what we were making was like I felt like I had like made it. Like
oh.
I had become successful because I like saw how much she enjoyed it.
So
Mhm.
so do you feel like it took a little while to find a an on purpose tone that you guys were going for, like an on purpose,
I don't even think
whether
we
the goal is to
yeah.
make someone laugh or
I don't
whatever.
even think we have I don't even think we have one.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
that's also
Yeah.
fair.
I think it just
Yeah, like
happens.
I mean, I think you get from just like the like if you overlook the channel and then you look at like the history of our Instagram and like the stuff that we've made, the stuff that I've made, some of the earlier poems, just like poetry
Oh
and
yeah, Matt's written a
context,
lot of great
all this,
poetry.
all this other stuff. But like we've been in a lot of ways, I think, still searching for what we want to make because especially making animation is such a commitment that
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
we don't want to, but to like necessarily pigeon down. What
Yeah,
am I saying?
You don't
Uh,
want to just make one thing. What
yeah,
are you saying?
yeah,
yeah.
and like figuring out what that might be because I think that's typically how, in terms of what works on YouTube and how people like consume YouTube, it's like mostly like the people would like you for one thing
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. That's something I'm currently wrestling with. I was more responding earlier to what you were saying about like, oh, you were looking for like or going for like laughs, and it took
I
me a
also
while.
think the two of us are very different in that
Yeah,
way. Like
yeah.
our taste is not the same. And I actually wonder
Hmm.
sometimes if people can tell who wrote the video that we're doing, because it's usually one of us is leading and the other person is sort of following. Sometimes
Hmm.
we'll write it together, but it'll either be like I do like really loose thumbnails and show Matt and say, hey, this is an idea I have, or he'll show me a notebook of drawings that he's done, and then we sort of like one of us will lead it. So
Hmm.
I sometimes I wonder like if people can tell who wrote
How would
which
you
one because our taste is a little different.
how would you describe how your tastes are different? Like what are your each of you guys' inspiration or like things that you gravitate towards?
I like Berserk.
Hey, I have two Berserk tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have Best Boy?
I have a Baylet, and I
Oh.
have a the brand on my neck, which
Okay,
is
okay, okay.
the most
Nice
typical.
contradicting contradicting ideas. Do you have the King's Ballot?
Yes, the
Uh,
Beyblade of the King.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, yeah,
No, I don't. I think like I wasn't planning on being in an animation. I was going to be a doctor, as a nice Asian boy ought to, and then I went to high school chemistry and realized I didn't have the chemistry for it, I guess, in my brain. And then I was going to be a high school English teacher, and then I realized I didn't want to be in high school for the rest of my life. Um,
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Under that perspective, uh-huh.
uh-huh.
Yep.
And then I also used to be like incredibly religious, and getting into animation was a sort of process of like, I trying to find purpose in some way or another. Because I think that's at least in the way I manifested religion was mostly from a desire to try to find some kind of purpose in my
yeah.
life.
Mhm.
And
Did
that
animation corrupt you? Did animation turn you into a
I
little
asked
sinner
I
and
asked myself
blasphemer?
that I've asked myself that numerous times, and I think no, it didn't. It just took me a while
Good.
to sort of parse these weird, or not weird,
Hmm.
but just the motivations that I had
Mhm.
and whatever journey I had to figure out like, oh, like there's definitely like a deep teen part of me, for sure. And like finding the comedy and finding the fun stuff has been like more the
Well, that
growth
part's me.
process. Yes.
Mhm.
All the dumb jokes and like physical humor and like that's the my taste.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. That's like the perfect duo where you have the drama and the comedy.
I'm like, what if
'Cause-
he falls on his face?
And you're like, what if he has an existential crisis?
Exactly.
I
Hell
was
yeah.
just doodling a story in our notebook about a character whose dad dies. So like, yeah.
That's so funny to see how like it's funny to see how different the yeah, the inspiration and like the sensibilities can be. I don't know, because when I watched you guys' animation, I don't really, I mean, I've never thought in my head like, oh, I'm going to figure out who's the creative mind behind this specific video. Because the art is all like the art and the whimsy through all of them is very consistent. Like it, to me it felt
Sorry.
very
Hmm.
like, I don't know, like
Merged.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that fortunately that's where we do match up very
Hmm.
well, is like the stuff that we enjoy is the same, even if our the roots of like what we're trying to make
Hmm.
is different.
I wanted to I wanted to ask you, okay, so a lot of the time when animators kind of like go off and start making their own shorts, I think that oftentimes there's a barrier where it'll lead to a lot of shorts where there's no dialogue because animators a lot of the times they
Hmm.
either don't voice act or they're shy, or it's like cue the animation student film with kind of classical music with no dialogue kind of going on.
Hmm.
But because you guys are a pair, how have you used kind of the fact that you guys can talk back and forth, and like do you guys do like a little like improv back and forth and turn it into stuff? Like do you write it in detail? Like what's your do you feel like you've used the fact that there's two of you in a way that maybe has changed how you would normally approach a short with like writing?
Thoughts, Megwin?
I think it really depends what video it is and
Mm-hmm.
who's leading it. I think we both tend to like animating things that don't have dialogue. I think we have
Mm-hmm.
like a personal preference towards that, but we do have videos that have speaking in it. It
Yeah.
really depends on what the video is. If it's a video between the two of us talking, usually we write it. If it's, for example, we have a series of calls with my mom that are actually just literally that. I
Mm-hmm.
asked my mom if I could record her on the phone, and I asked her some questions, and then I just edited together into what that conversation was. So none of those were written. Those were
Mm-hmm.
just basically a conversation, and then I just edited together to make a video. There's some other videos we have that has speaking in it.
Yeah, I think we're also like just we're like in some ways we've been making a lot of stuff, but I still feel in most ways that we're very new to
Yeah, like
doing
very
it.
early on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
we have a project that I am going to finish in my or we're going to finish in my unemployment
Yeah.
that we have time, where it has us doing voices, and I think actually doing voices for the first time in like a doing voices sort of way.
Yes, you just have to get like tired enough where you're so delusional that you start making the like a really dumb voice and you don't care anymore. I think that's like the
Yeah.
key
Voice actor
to
advice. Yes.
Yeah, for definitely for starting out. I mean, like I think one of the voices is like, "I'm cheese." Wah.
Oh yeah, the one we're about to do. Yes,
Yeah.
that's one of them.
And
Yes,
then
and then I do this really dumb scientist character that
do you have any lines?
I can't even
Oh,
remember.
you got it. You got it.
You got it. You remember. You just don't want to do
This
it.
isn't a dodo,
Oh
you dum
no.
dums.
Yeah, this isn't a dumb dumb, you dumbass. Yes, and it's over.
And it's like it was just supposed to be Scratch, but it
Yeah.
was the first time
But it made Matt laugh.
where we played it where I'm like, yeah, like fine,
Also,
let's
we
just
don't
go.
we really don't use any fancy equipment. Like that is just recorded on our phones. And
With
I
a
don't
blanket
even
over, and sometimes no blanket.
sometimes not even a blanket, yes. And I think like it's something I personally really care about because I could clean it up. I could get like I'm an editor, it's what I do during the day. I know how to fix the audio. I
Hmm.
just don't want to because there's something about it being the voices are voices recorded on a phone that I
Yeah.
think connects to sort of like actually maybe this is one of the things like if we had to say in terms of like what do we want for our YouTube channel, a lot of what I think we both really value is being able to tell that a person has made it. So we
Yeah.
do a lot of this like hand drawn, like all of it is hand drawn. So like
Mhm.
we'll like for example like not fix things that are in it like intentionally or we'll like in this case not clean up the audio because I think there's a feeling of wanting to preserve that it's us making it and I think the more lo-fi it is, the easier it is to connect with
Yeah.
us.
Scuffed has charm, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And this is a recurring theme. V and I talk about scuffed
Mhm.
stuff a lot and how
Mm-hmm.
that I think and people respond to it. Like it's not just something that you're feeling, like it's something that people respond to on, like, on social media especially. I feel like you could have something that looks like a studio made it, and some like little stick figure cartoon that has a funny meme or whatever will do like 10 times better
Mm-hmm.
because it looks
It feels like a
like a
person.
yeah. Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yes, and I
And
think
yeah.
I don't think I ever really want to make anything that's and the other thing is that we make very produced work during our jobs. It's so
Mhm.
this is like not our work. So I think like to do that would take away some of the joy from it also, where there's not really like a lot of pressure and I also think part of the like it being accessible is not using anything super fancy and just sort of like being people is something that I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, part of why I didn't want to make films for a long time before we really started making them is just like again that sort of low estimation of your own value, low estimation of your own quality of work. Because like when you have, one piece fight scenes that you can watch on
Yeah.
YouTube and
You're
you're
like,
just like, oh, frick, dude, frick.
like I'm not gonna
Um,
make that.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think like making that film really helped because it broke through to me in a way where like I think the quality was the quality and there was like a level of acceptance
Hmm.
that was helped by the fact that if I didn't accept it, I would be looking down on something that we made
Yeah,
together,
you'd
you
be
know?
making me feel bad.
Yeah. And it's like I have no
yeah.
choice but to like this. And
That's
I
right.
and I
Yeah.
did like genuinely like it. And I think that's been helpful when it comes to like
Yeah.
making stuff and thinking about quality and just being like, you
I
know
think
what?
it helps like simplify too because we've even tried doing like we have varying complexities, I'd say, for some of the stuff we've made. Some of it is like very heavily comped, where we're like, we're gonna do like rim lighting and put in glows and lighting and really make this look nice. And then I think the longer we've been doing this, the less we actually even like that aesthetic. I think like
Mhm.
not even having shadows for the most part, just having like a flat color. I think we just end up liking the way it looks more. Even it's not even like a we couldn't do this. It's just I think I don't aesthetically like the way it looks. I think there's something
Hmm.
just very clean and simple about a flat color on
Mhm.
like a
Well,
line
especially because
hand drawing.
yeah, you have these like really charming hand drawn frames, and I feel like when you hand draw an entire animation, you don't need to produce it as much compared to
Mm-hmm.
something that would be puppeted or something that is
Mm-hmm.
like
It
3D.
inherently like has
Mhm.
a yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. That's a really good observation, and especially because the animations you guys make are pretty long. Like every time I'm surprised when you
Yes,
post
and
something.
there's so much more that we have that we just have never posted and either like partially abandoned or like I would say there's probably like currently what we have of what's working at least like 10 minutes
That's
of
crazy. And you're just
of
sitting
Whoa.
on your
shorts.
10 minutes like dragons hoarding a treasure. Oh,
It's
hoping.
sort of like what Matt was saying of like we're trying to decide what is important to work on because I think we're seeing the value of like the time that we're putting into
Yeah.
it. So if like we were working on one and we got like pretty far, I would say, into the short, and I think we're just feeling like I don't know, I'm not like
This
completely
one does not spark joy.
Uh, uh.
I could just feel like Matt was so miserable working on it. And I'm just like, then like let's just stop working on it. Like I know like we have it here and that it's boarded and it's fully like it's almost
Mhm.
halfway done and it looks beautiful.
It's not halfway
But
done.
there's a lot. You did a lot. You did a lot. But it's got so many characters and it's like really complicated and you're just so miserable. I'm just like, let's just do something else. Like we don't have to finish this. It's not like someone's waiting for this. Like just we can just do something else and that's totally fine. Or like for example, we have a short film that we've been working on for maybe like 3 or 4 years that we're probably gonna finish in the next like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Just and it's
crazy.
been done. It's fully animated. We're just like, I want to add more fish.
How do you? That's something that I've noticed too. Sometimes I watch your animations and I'm like, how did you get all these details in there? It's really crazy. And I mean, when I looked right before the interview, I checked your YouTube channel again, and there's so much. So how do you kind of plan how you make your animations? Like, do you, because you're talking about having multiple projects going at the same time. How do you have a schedule? And I guess that's the first question. Do you have a schedule for release? And the second question would be, how do you keep coming up with ideas? Like, in the sense of, do you just keep coming up with ideas and then you just have a huge stack of them and then you kind of work on all of them? Or do you try to limit yourself and be like, okay, no, we only can have like 3 ideas at a time? Like, how does that all work?
Breeze.
I think it'll go like this. We should probably make a video this week. And then Matt's like, you got anything? And then I'll go, what about like a fish will eat another fish and then it eats another fish and then a guy eats it and then spits it into an aquarium. And he goes, okay. And then he animates it and then I sound design it and color it and then we post it online. And that I would say that would take what, 3 days, 4 days?
Yeah, I think the total time of working on something like that
Not
is
that much.
about 3 or 4 days. She's referring to the specific video that has 10 million views on
What do you
or whatever. I don't know what
What?
it is.
No. I
No,
don't.
that one I was thinking about was the lobster one, where like a little kid
Oh yeah, Matt
is.
goes, okay, what about this one? And then he's like, there's like, well, actually, you pitched it with a different character, and then you said, you pitched the lobster part where he goes, what, I'm not good enough for you?
Yeah,
And then I said, you should make him a fancy rich kid.
yeah,
And that was the extent of the
yeah.
conversation.
This is this is. I think like this is like a little bathroom conversation.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that makes that sparks
I go,
joy.
that's funny. You should make it a
Yeah.
fancy kid.
Then we made
And
that.
yeah,
Takes about a week, and then we're done with it.
yep.
But it's like,
That's like so our shorts, that's like the extent that those are
how,
planned, which I would say is almost not at all. So it's
How?
like, and
But
it's
that's
not that
so
it doesn't take that long to make. I think we both
Yeah.
work really fast, so
right.
it's
we're not
very
the best artists. We don't make the most beautiful
yeah,
stuff.
we may not be the coolest, but we're definitely very
Shut
efficient.
up.
That's crazy.
No.
It's really crazy because if people who are listening to this episode somehow they stumbled onto this episode and somehow they don't know your work, they would be extremely surprised when go and look you
You're
guys up because your stuff is very
yeah.
polished and
Yeah.
looks in my opinion,
Oh,
TV quality.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very haphazard. Also, Matt animates straight ahead. So that's when you're talking about planning. There's literally not even planning within
I think that's
the
maybe where
animation.
you save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because
It's
there
very
because
much I think like
it's
I don't
stream
know
of
if you agree.
consciousness.
My sort of feeling about making stuff is that the first idea you have is probably good enough. So I
Hmm.
don't think there's a
Yes.
lot of back and forth about what we're
Mhm.
doing. We just sort of make it. I don't think there's any real like deliberating notes process unless we're making like a very long video.
How
Yes, and I like
important?
to make very long videos. Actually, I want to ask that question to you, V and Lord Spew. Like, how do you guys manage that?
Well, I guess what's interesting to hear from you guys, and I'll have more pointed questions later, but for me, I started to realize that because what I do is comics, which is like linear storytelling, and especially it was linear storytelling over like serialized and over a long period of time. So there's a moment when I would have a level, there's a certain level of writing that I need to be mindful of because of the linear quality
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
of the story. And so sometimes I would get stuck and I couldn't kind of keep thinking on it because of that. Drawing the page usually is pretty fast. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
the actual drawing part is that's the easiest part of it. The hardest part is the thinking part, which is really
Mhm.
interesting because you guys just said that's what you're really expediting. You're like, oh,
And not
idea,
only
let's do
that,
it. Hmm.
one of our videos, like our Gooseby video, was like chat voted. That wasn't even, I wouldn't even say we really wrote that. That was like we were streaming and then they're like, hey, they're gonna do this next. Do you want them to do this or this?
It was like a
Yeah,
prompt. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
And it's very casual. I think there's not a
Hmm.
lot of stakes.
What about you?
What was the what was the initial question again that you asked us?
Were you asking about the
Like,
planning process?
just the way that you guys do things. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh.
part of why we are doing that is because we
I
like
think
in terms of like, oh, what if this guy? Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, okay, let's do it. Is
we
because like that's kind of all we have the resource for in a lot of
Hmm.
ways. With
Yes, yes. It's
currently
like by
like
necessity
in
in
the
some
job.
ways.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I have like a notebook full of stuff of like things that I want to do, and I think
Hmm.
I've always been like that in some way or
Mm-hmm.
another. So it doesn't feel like it's
Yeah.
burning in my pocket that I can't get to it or something like that. It's just like, oh, well, then we'll just save this for later.
I
Yeah, we
think
have like
that's
longer
so.
planned things
Yeah.
also. Like
Well, my answer would rebound a question back to you guys, which is I'm very momentum based and motivation based, and so I rely on acting while it's still funny and making ideas that can be made in a short period of time. So
mm,
most of my cartoons are made in like 2 weeks, and usually I do have like a little doc where I keep ideas, and I try to find a place to like use random ideas that I don't know how to work into a full short. I would say most of it works on like I'm really inspired to make something and makes me laugh, and I like gotta do it. Like I used to like just stay
mm.
up all night and make like a 30-second short in one night. And so I think that kind of like that motivation and momentum is really important for my process personally. I'm curious, like, if it takes you guys too long to start a short and it maybe isn't as funny to you anymore. Do you notice that you have a similar relationship with your shorts?
I don't think I have that.
I
You might.
I think Megan's experienced several moments where she's like, "You're fading. We got to keep
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
because you're
He's
fading."
like that. He's like that. I'm not like that, but he's like
Got you.
that. Yes.
So I think that's in that case, it's like, yes, it's very
I
helpful.
can tell when you don't want to work on it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But but
That's nice though. Yeah.
I think the nature of what I do for work is very long term. So, and I think I've built a tolerance to it. So I
Yeah.
don't think, and I also think I'm pretty easy, like I'm a pretty easy audience. So the thing that was once funny is like still funny to me. Like I don't think I
Cool.
get tired of it.
Mm.
Yes.
Whereas I think you're like, I don't want to look at my dumb drawings anymore.
That's funny
Well,
because I relate to that, Megs. I feel like when I was
Yeah.
working on my cartoons short, I would keep saying my same jokes and laugh at them again and again. And I'm like, wow, people would probably think I love the smell of my own farts, but I just
Hmm.
think like it's funny. If it's funny,
I'm
it's
just
funny.
easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
It's
good
hard
quality.
for picky people, I feel like. I feel like
Yeah.
if you're an easy audience, like you're going to be easier on your own cartoons. It's probably
Hmm.
a little harder to be Matt as far as the
well,
critique of your own cartoons.
it's like true and not true because I'll still present stuff to Megs like little thumbnails, and I'm like, this is ready to go. I should
And I
just be
go,
able to
well,
make this. And then Meg's like, I got notes. I'm like, oh shoot.
yeah, I would say like of the two of us, I probably have more notes.
Oh,
And I'm like,
That's
just yeah.
funny.
And I think that's
that's a
probably a
funny
good thing,
dynamic.
just like as a storyboard artist, is to be like every single time you're presenting something to be like, oh, I believe in it. Even if it's going to get changed and stuff. I generally feel like when we're sharing ideas, or at least when I'm sharing my ideas, I'm like, this is production ready. Just give me the go and we'll do it.
Yeah, like yesterday, Matt had a short that he showed me the thumbs for, and then I said, okay, I think this idea can work. What if we restaged it like this, and then simplified
Hmm.
it to be an idea, like trying to take what's there and try to. I think sometimes it's like formatting it for where it's going to be presented. It's like having the context of what it is. So in that case, it's going to be a short online. So I think certain formats work a little bit better. So I think it's sort of like Matt will have an idea and then I'll say, okay, I think this is probably the simplest way to present that
Hmm.
idea. And then most of what the notes are is not really changing the content as much as it is the presentation of what the
That's very
Oh,
interesting. How can you give us an example of how you've changed the presentation of something in recently?
I'm trying to think of an example, or actually one of the comics we wrote where you were writing those, we were doing those squat comics. There was one where you were presenting and you said you pitch it to me, and then the idea being that there was going to be two characters arguing over who was going to imprison him. So, and he's trespassing on both of their areas, and one of them says, what is the first guy saying? You're gonna go to,
Uh,
oh, the like penalty is death. And then the other guy says you're gonna go to prison for life. And so then he's going over there. He's like, I'm gonna choose that instead. And then they start arguing with each other, like arguing the sentence down. So they go, it'll just be
mhm.
3 months, 2 months. And then he had one of the two guys saying like 5 minutes. And I said, so this is where my note would come in. I said, you should have like squat say it instead of the two guys. So the two guys are arguing, and then he comes in and says, 5 minutes and a slice of pie. And they go, deal. And then he throws him in prison. So
That's
that's
awesome.
where like it's like
Mm.
a very subtle change, I think, sometimes where I'm just
yeah,
trying to come up with like, how can I make this just a little
yeah.
bit funnier?
I think that in terms of the format, it's like I think Megan is more format conscious, and I think it's also
Mm.
just like a part of the like process where if you're like a perfect artist making everything perfect at all at once, you have all that consideration in the first draft, but it's like, okay, I can
It's like too
splash
much.
something down, yes,
Hmm.
and then Megan,
And I'll say like, okay, the way you're staging it is very horizontal oriented. Can we move these characters so that they're in the middle of the screen because this is going to get cut off and
Like a
have the
portrait.
camera moving with them here. And
Mm.
so it's a lot of that stuff also.
Yeah, I was gonna ask format wise, like how was it adjusting for obviously for work you make horizontal stuff and then for fun we're making
We actually
vertical
make we actually make
cartoons.
everything in square.
Interesting. That's funny. So you're still doing squares even with
Hmm.
the portrait format now taking over the
We
internet.
do
Like,
square like literally a square. Like I think it's like What's like it's gotta be like 2000 something
This is
by
our format. We start with a file size that's like 2160 by 2160,
2160, yes.
and then
And we draw inside that square
and
with
then
the
we'll
idea
have
that
like a semi-permeable
like this,
vertical thing, and then a
drawing for both
semi-permeable.
at the same time. So we're
Yeah,
always
I
drawing for
see.
horizontal and vertical at the same time.
yeah.
Yes.
I think the
Yes.
my nature is very much more in still in the horizontal and stuff. I think vertical is.
It's a
I
little
want to say it's
limiting.
annoying because
It's limiting for sure.
like usually in the vertical you also have to account for the way YouTube is gonna or whatever platform's gonna crop
Crop
your
it.
thing, and then there's all
Yeah.
these little doohickeys on the
On top of
side
it.
that are gonna be there. So like it's not the it's not the preferred, but it's just something like
The thing
you
that
gotta
I
think.
love about it, which has come from this, is that because we make things for both, and because we like adding a lot of little characters in our backgrounds, what we do is we'll make these like long horizontal videos and then also release them as verticals, and then I'll sound design them separately from each other. So the
Huh.
verticals and the horizontals will be scored differently. And because the characters are cut off, you're not fully seeing the entire thing. So in my mind, they're like
Wow.
two separate entities.
Why do you
That's
score
so
them differently?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I just think like the scoring for a horizontal is is assuming you're gonna watch the whole thing. Whereas if I
Mm.
score it for one video, I can score it like it has like a beginning, middle, and end. And it can just be for whatever that exact short is.
Gotcha.
And I also find that making shorts while making a long form video is very motivating because you can just, and because we straight ahead what we can make our shorts while we're making our long form video and release the
Mm.
shorts even if the thing isn't done.
Oh, you
Because
make the shorts out of the long form video, like it's like little parts of it.
sometimes we make the whole horizontal and then
Mm-hmm.
split it up. Sometimes we make the shorts while we're making the long form and release them as
Hmm.
we're making them as like motivation to continue making the long form.
That's cool.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what's funny? I downloaded recently like templates for like specifically for like social media and like posting content for content creators. And one of the things that I keep seeing is that they call it the pillar content, which is like a big chunk of content, and then they're like, oh yeah, and then you split it up in lots of little shorts that you can pepper throughout the week. So that makes a lot of sense. That's really cool.
We've
Pillar
definitely
content.
had disagreements about how we feel about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm
What
I'm
are
a
the pros
rock.
and
Because
cons?
I think sometimes Matt is like, this thing is really special and I don't want anyone to see it until it's done.
Mm.
And
That makes
I'm
sense.
like, if we release it as shorts, people will follow along and be more invested in the
That's
entire story.
And my
true.
feeling is that nobody really cares.
And
So
my feeling is no, people do care. And
People care. They're waiting up all night to see if you're gonna post.
I will say that's been my experience posting content. Like obviously this comes from posting a serialized comic, but my experience has been it's better to post often and less than just dump one big piece of content because
and then people post it and it doesn't get views and they think they're
yes,
bad. And I'm like, oh, it's so sad. Like that has nothing to do with like
exactly
what
because
you
it's like
made.
there's two things. There's the algorithm. The algorithm picks up when you're very active, and then it will propel you because it rewards you for being active. And the second thing is that people forget about you. It's just the problem is that's just what it is. It's just there's so much content online that if you don't post consistently, people just forget you exist, and it's not even that about. It's not even about your content. It's just that like you're not part of their routine. And the best way I can illustrate that is that my boyfriend is there's a bird that he loves, and the bird is called Beaker Beak, and he will
Yes.
watch Beaker Beak every day
Yeah.
because there's a new video every day. The videos aren't even that good. The best videos came out a month ago, but he still watches it religiously because it comes out every day.
He's like a
Yeah.
morning friend.
Yes,
Well, that.
exactly.
I
you
mean,
notice
that's like it's
Beaker
like the
Beak?
No, but I will watch it.
it's like for this podcast, you have to be consistent and release on the
Mm,
same day because people turn it into it's part of maybe their morning routine or their morning
mm,
drive to work. And the first one or two times where you miss a day, they're going to start filling that time with something else. And it sucks because it really
Yeah.
does make you feel like the term content
Yeah.
implies like it's just something that fills a space and it can be any old thing. And I feel like it that cheapens what we do so
Mm.
much in if you think about it. And it's a shame, but also it's like sometimes you got to play ball in
Hmm.
order to
Well, that's why I like sound
yeah.
designing them differently because I actually just think it's an opportunity to recreate the same thing and make it slightly different because I don't always have like one idea for the thing. So I go, I'm gonna just try scoring this like I'm like freed a little bit to be able to go,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna turn this into something else. Because I think of the things we're doing, Matt doesn't really give a ton of input on the sound design that I end up doing or the score I end up doing for the whatever we're making. It's typically me doing it. And so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna turn this into a short. And then I get to just sort of do it. And that's like me being creative. I get to just go, I'm gonna turn this into something else. And I think music is so essential to this because it can
Hmm.
just change everything about it. I think something I used to say to I don't know, in general or to Matt, is that the sound and audio is, I would say, at least half of it, in my opinion.
Yes,
And
I
I
agree.
think when you have the ability to reformat the context, it's just an opportunity to have a slightly different
Yeah.
take on the same thing without even having to animate more.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
in some ways, it's kind of like normally I feel like the thing that helps a lot of these shorts have like a widespread or longevity is like the like memes that people normally make out of them. And if you are essentially acting as your own
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're making memes out of it. I
Exactly.
mean, they're longer, but that's what the like shorts kind of are sometimes. It's just like, hey, there's a funny moment in this. What if I like remix this a little bit
Hmm.
and and that's really fun. And most I would say that most people working alone don't have the patience to do that, and
Yeah.
that's something
There's
that you
also, I
guys
think,
have
an
that's a leg up.
objectivity. I think I have objectivity because I didn't sit there and draw the entire thing. Because
Hmm.
Matt is sitting there and drawing it and it's like it's just like hard. Like there's sort of no getting around it. Like hand drawing animation is just hard. And it takes like
Yeah.
a lot of time and a lot of patience and you just have to do it. There's not really like a cheat code. You just sort of do it. So I
Yeah,
think
you were trying to cheat code it. She's like, well, why don't you just animate less? Why don't
no,
you just
do
do
less
like a light novel? Why don't you just like? And I'm like, all right, no.
and then he animated the
Ah.
most complicated thing he's ever done, and I'm like, what happened?
You
No.
promised. You promised.
Remember that simple thing we talked about?
Uh,
That's funny. It's funny because I feel like I think Megs, you and I, we think very much the same. I'm very much kind of like economy all the way.
Hmm.
But it's funny because I feel like Sean, you think kind of more like Matt, where it's like you always say you always say when you start a short, Sean always does this. He's like, "Oh, I figured out how to make it so economical. It's gonna be just one background, and it's just gonna be these two characters, and it just stand, and I'm not even gonna lip sync all that much." And then he shows me the final thing, and
And I'm
it's
like, what
like,
happened?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like fully animated. Like the background has a
Yes,
oh,
million
yep.
details. He actually ended
Called
up painting
out.
like
And I'm sure
five,
it looks
Love.
so beautiful.
and it looks
Oh
amazing.
my God. Yeah, no, I mean it happens that happens a lot, and usually what ends up happening is it's not just that I eliminated part of the work, it's that I took a shortcut in one place and then I'm like, oh, but now it means I can make them all move really well.
Yeah.
Like I there's only one background, so now I can have really fun acting. And yeah, I end up taking the same amount of time. It's true.
So that's funny. It's
But
just
I think
funny.
as long as you're enjoying it, I don't think there's any.
No,
I
yeah.
think we end up. I think we like making a lot of stuff. I think that's something that we have in common. So I think the danger of getting too complicated, we tend to not lean towards there because I think we have more of a desire to make a lot of stuff. Would you say that's
I
true?
like lots of little things and little guys. in a thing.
Yes,
That
I love
is fun for me.
environments that have tons of little creatures in it.
Yeah.
The most
Shout out,
time-consuming
where's
thing ever.
Waldo?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
love I
Well, it's
love
like
me
I'd
some Where's
rather like
Waldo.
add a new
Yeah,
guy than polish up something.
That's right. Yes.
yeah.
I'd rather have like 10 lizards than like one beautiful animation.
Dragon.
Yes.
Whatever.
That's
Get over yourself, dragon.
that's so funny. That is funny. I know you guys must have like really enjoyed
Yeah.
that opening of Ponyo because I remember that was the thing that struck me. You know, when we're like underwater and there's a million tiny little creatures like moving
Yes.
around. When
I
I saw
love
that,
Ponyo.
it like it kind of low-key gave me like an anxiety moment because I was just like, I cannot even
You're like, people
imagine.
suffered for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, anytime I see any animation that's really, really nice, I'm like, who suffered for this?
Mhm.
Uh,
Martyrdom. The martyrdom of these animators who gave it all for the content.
How many how many different animated projects do you have going right now? Personal stuff in your like.
I think we have a finished short film. We have another, and that short film's maybe like 3 or 4 minutes long. 3 minutes, three and a half.
Island
Yeah, three and a
Adventure.
half.
It's not called that.
It's not good. It doesn't have a name.
Yes, that one's like three
3.5.
minutes.
Then we had another project that was probably 4 minutes long that maybe we got through, I want to say like maybe like the first 45 seconds
Uh-huh.
of it. And then we have,
It's chasers and squeezers and
no,
stuff.
that's the other one.
Oh, you're talking
have-
about lizard
Yes.
spot? Okay.
And then we have another one that was probably 4 minutes long.
It's gonna be 4 minutes with the revisions.
Yes, where we have about at least like a minute done of that, I would say, the animation, not
Mhm.
like finished, polished, but
Mhm.
like not I mean the animation is done, but
Yeah.
the backgrounds and stuff. And then we have like things we've started and then stopped other than that. And then we have like I think at any point we're open to doing like another any kind of short, like I'll be like, hey, I have an idea for like a video with the two of us. Like we always have our like Matt and Megs, our actual characters
Mhm.
shorts. Then we'll have like random shorts.
I think like I want to say I feel personally, and this is something that I don't think you've really even had time to really talk about to any sort of depth. So this is not a consensus. I'm only speaking for myself here. But I do think I want to actually try to concentrate and focus on delivering something that's a bit larger. Not in terms of like I want to make like an 8-10 minute video or anything like that, but I do want to make a thing and make a lot of things for that thing. Um, and maybe make multiples of those things. That's kind of where I'm feeling I want to go personally right now. And
Do
I'm
you mean
not sure.
like a series? Do you mean kind of like a series of some kind with the same? Do you
Yeah,
mean with the same characters? Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like normally,
Mhm.
yeah, I think how we were working before is we had like it's just kind of a whatever came up
Because it's
type
interesting.
of
It
thing.
sounds like you have somewhere close to 6 projects go like that are
Mhm.
started right
I
now
also
at
think we
different
could
stages
make
of
like way
production.
more if one of us was unemployed. I think like so like if you're about to be unemployed, I think we can like the actual time it takes us to finish stuff is not very long. So I think
Mhm.
we could be making a lot more.
I would say we have 3 or 4 things, and then like we've had
Like big like actual.
formats that we've done in repetition before, so we
Hmm.
could go back to those formats at
Yeah.
any time. Like if
That's right.
Megan wanted to talk to her mom, for example, about something, we could make another one of those.
Mhm.
Or if something like we watched Superman the other day, and if we
Yes,
wanted
and I like
to,
wrote like a movie. I wrote a movie review
yeah,
of it. We could
we
like
could do that really quickly.
yes.
So
How
there's like
how often do you do kind of like oh what you call it like current events I guess like I'm putting Superman in like current hot topic how often do you do these?
like
Almost
0%.
never.
Mhm.
Yes. I
Yeah,
think there's like almost no desire to
Mm,
have
Yeah.
any kind of
topical.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes. I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
it's
because
We
actually
did
you
like
are
we
a
did a
rare.
we did a Dune review that came out like half a year, maybe a whole
well
year
after the movie came
after the
out.
Yeah.
movie came out.
And I was just like, oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's kind of yeah, there's no real like I think there's no real desire
Yeah.
to be making anything like that.
Yeah, I can like most of the stuff that happens doesn't really inspire a desire to make stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are rare online creators that don't really do parody stuff.
Yeah.
You're doing these original
And
cartoons, which is very cool.
we have done some, and I think like there's an avenue for that where like you could see some kind of success, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like real desire to be doing
Yeah,
it.
like our first like sort of larger in terms of view count videos were like
No,
Nintendo
actually,
things.
the first video that we ever had actually gain any traction was from one of those large loop videos, and it was one of the loops of that alien guy in the pizza place.
Oh,
It
okay.
was very random. Actually, the thing I like the most about posting online is you realize how random it is, and you actually
Mm.
realize how it doesn't even mean that the thing you're making is bad because if you post it in multiple other places, it can do like really well on one thing
Sure.
and not
Yes.
at all the other thing. And
Yeah.
I think the more you do it, the more you realize like how not personal it is and how like low stakes it actually is.
Yep.
And I think it becomes a
Big.
lot less scary and you just can, I don't know, I found I've been able to make stuff a lot easier because I don't really care as
Yeah.
much anymore.
I think what I was
Hmm.
saying about like the parody stuff is that like I just felt we'd done a couple of those things. And at the beginning we were like, oh, should we do more of these things?
Like a Zelda
Yeah.
or like we have like a Pikmin
Yeah, we were
video.
getting lots of like comments that were like, make more Pikmin stuff or make more Zelda stuff. And the way I always felt about it was like I'm like swimming in someone else's pool, like I'm going into their backyard
Yeah.
and like splashing around, and it's like
And I think I just wanted
I
to make that so like that link video, that's an example of like a me video.
uh,
That's like a I just was really enjoying playing that game and I thought it was
Right.
really dumb that the way I was playing that game is essentially as a bowling game. Like I don't actually fight anyone, I just stand on a hill and bowl bombs at them. And that's the entirety of
Yeah.
what that game is for me. So that's the reason why we made that, is because I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
And
this
you
would
don't
be
want to
fun.
force it because people can
Yeah.
tell.
Hmm.
I relate to that a lot because normally I don't do parody stuff, but recently I did a Pokemon thing, and it happened to be the most popular thing that I've ever made, and all my comments are like, make more of that other of the
Hmm.
Pokemon
Yeah.
thing, and I'm like, dog, I don't really want to. Like it was fun making that, but like I'm not the Pokemon guy. Like
I think like
I don't know.
everyone experiences that, even to the level of like when I worked on a show at DreamWorks and they posted the trailer for the show and all the comments were like, "Where's How to Train Your Dragon 4?" Like every single comment. So like even on the scale of a company, I think it's still
Dude,
happening.
yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
true. I feel like somebody told me this recently where in the Adult Swim Smalls that I made with my co-creator Sam, in the comments, like we can gauge how much the audience like the thing with the Smalls by how many comments are make more Venture Brothers. And we barely got any of those. So I was like, yes, but like, yeah, like Adult
And even
Swim,
if you get them, it's like great. People are commenting.
it still
Yeah,
is
sure for
good,
sure, sure for
but
sure.
it's also just kind of like, oh man, the thing I put out was so like gave them so little joy that the first thought in their brain was make more Venture Brothers.
Yes. Like actually one of my favorites, sometimes you post something and you like accidentally stumble upon like a niche part of the internet. And we made a video where there's like two steel beams that then get like welded together and they because they like fall in love and then a thing welds them together and they walk away. But the way that Matt drew it, the beams are like not aligned and it like really bothered like the entire welding community
Oh, that's so
to the
funny.
point that I think because of that it like gained traction for the video and it did like pretty well.
You know,
That
this
dude,
is
that's so funny.
something that I have started thinking about is so it's from two things. First, sometimes I'll post a comic and I make a spelling mistake, something dumb. And then, of course, I'm gonna get probably 10 comments. It's not spelled like this. And I'm
Which I'd
like,
probably actually leave in terms of the stuff we make. I would actually leave that in because I like when there's a person, it feels like there's a person making it. So I actually like when there's
mm-hmm.
like mistakes like that.
And and so people will comment that and it creates engagement. And I've read that some creators actually do it on purpose for
Yeah.
engagement. And I'm like, oh, and then like the little devil on my shoulder is like, do all
Yeah.
these horrible things that it's kind of like it's not rage bait, but it's engagement bait where it's like you
Yeah.
it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a cartoon that did well recently because it was a character that people recognized, but I drew them badly. And people
Mm-hmm.
hated that I drew that character disrespectfully so much that it got like 1 million views. And it was all the comments were like
Was it a
you fuck
Charizard?
you it was. I tried to do one follow-up Pokemon cartoon because people were hounding me about it. And the reason why that one did well at all was because people hated
The
how I
way it was
drew
drawn.
their favorite Pokemon so much because he's such a cool Pokemon to people,
Did you
and I
draw?
drew him
Was it
so
Lucario?
stupid.
You drew him so derpy. Like he drew Charizard with like a big
Oh.
body, tiny head, tiny little limbs. We're
Yes.
basically, which is very endearing and cute, but it's definitely the
I drew him twerking. He had a huge dumper,
yeah.
and fire was going everywhere when he twerks. Like people did not like how I treated
That's so
their
I bet a
funny.
favorite
lot of people did
Pokemon.
like it though.
I think also what's interesting is like thinking about like you brought up niche communities. I'm like one of my strips I titled Memento Mori because I just because Latin, I don't know. I just think that Memento Mori is a funny thing to put in relationship to Live Laugh Love because anyway. But then all the comments were like Markiplier and I had no idea that
Mm-hmm.
Markiplier ended
The
his
series. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so like sometimes you accidentally stumble on like internet lore
Mm-hmm.
like this and then everybody's just like, yeah, like the thing that I know and they commented and it's just like free engagement.
Yes, like
Hmm.
we made one video that was just two blobby guys, like I don't even know what they were really doing. They're just sort of like taking a wrench and like turning a fire hydrant on and then turning it off and then getting back in the truck.
Hmm.
But at the exact moment that we released that, everyone was posting about Grimace. And I think
Oh,
because the blob was purple, it just hit the exact right moment.
that's so
Yeah, prime
true.
time for purple guys, dude.
Yes.
It's just this thing where it's like the zeitgeist is so unpredictable, and your chance of hitting it is just by posting constantly.
Hmm.
So that kind of goes
And you don't
back
even have
to
to think about it. You'll just hit it
Yeah, I
eventually.
think that's like the advantage of like doing some of the things where that are more random, that are more haphazard, that
Hmm.
are more like, oh,
yeah.
what if this little kid says this dumb thing, or what if these two steel beams like meet together and fall in love and all that sort of stuff. And like there is that part of me that like likes and enjoys doing that. And
I think
there's
you should do
also the
both.
part of me that's like,
Hmm.
I really want to have some kind
A
of
little story.
some
Mhm.
way or another.
What
Yeah.
if that's if you're comfortable sharing, what kind of stories would you want to make as a longer form, like as a series? Like what are you gravitating towards?
Do you have anything, or is this me?
It's for you because
Like
you
what
brought it
to
up.
make.
Oh, what do I want to make? I think,
Matt really wants to make a card game. I think that's like one of the longer
yeah, I want to
ones.
make a card game, and I also want to make. I want to make a card game, and I want to make a like a universe and a like a cartoon series that like supports that.
Which I feel like we're
Um,
doing. We
Mhm.
just recently haven't had time to work on it, but I
yeah,
feel good about that particularly.
yeah. So I think it's just like I don't know, something that like we can really dive into
Hmm.
and release a bunch of like little ad hoc stories and do one where you know, I don't I guess the very I'm going to give you the very unsatisfying actors answer of but yeah, it's like I think they're just like some itches that I need to scratch in terms of like stuff that I personally want to make, and I'm like, oh, I'm entering this period. Let's try to go for it in some way.
I relate to
Yeah.
that a lot. I feel like that's kind of how I felt coming out of my last web comic. I'm like, okay, now I want to scratch the itch of like another other kinds of stories and other kinds of I'm gonna start peppering in some questions from our listeners because they're really
Hmm.
good. Our patron Puzzle Glum asks, what qualities need to be present in any good creative collaboration, in both of your opinions?
Uh, Wait, can you say that question again?
What qualities need to be present in a good creative collaboration?
Tall. Uh,
Maybe like each other.
Fast.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you gotta like it and you gotta like each other during and after it.
Yes. Yeah.
Important.
I think
That
yeah.
actually maybe more than anything, because I don't really feel I don't feel like I have like any kind of opinion about like what is good or not.
Yeah.
About like the content itself. I don't
Yeah.
think I have any feeling about that. It's more like how did you work together
There's something
than what you made.
Yeah, there's something very like sort of smart that Megan has said before where like if you have a feeling, odds are a lot of other people have had that feeling.
Yeah, you're not special. Like you're not like
Well, I'm trying to not say that. I'm
it's
saying
a way to take the
that
pressure off yourself.
well, no, what I'm saying the way I'm trying to relate it is like if you've liked something, odds are someone else is going to like it. So if you like what you've made,
That's right.
odds are
Someone else is gonna like it. Yes.
But if you don't like what you've made,
Then like you don't even have
you don't even yeah.
Yeah,
So
why are you
like
expecting someone else to like it if you don't even like
yeah.
it?
So
Yeah.
I think
Right.
like
And I guess I also feel like if you really didn't enjoy making it, you're just gonna feel that way every time you look at it.
yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
think no matter what we would have made the first time we made something, it's because we felt like, oh, we made this together and we're like very proud of it, regardless of what the thing is. I think that is more the feeling than like what the actual output was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's why like I mean collaborators can be really hard to find because it's like a big ask of working with someone
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of
Yes.
ways where like it's got to connect and for both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
Also, I think like in this particular instance, we just happened to do all of the other opposite things to make us able to make the animated thing.
yeah.
So I think that's like a unique situation where like,
Not that unique. There's got to be some other.
well, I feel like sometimes people might have trouble finding someone to like
I
maybe they
agree.
don't know as much about something and they're like what do you do? Like you can like have to find someone and pay them to make something or like you have to try to learn it yourself or it can be like a hurdle, I think.
I think the animator's solution is to do it all themselves.
Of
That's
course,
true.
yes, of course.
Uh,
She though that makes it really hard too. It's like a large burden to place on yourself. Like you
yeah.
have to do everything, and I think we've been fortunate. I think with that, in that like neither of us has to do everything because we know the other parts. You say it's not unique. I think it's a little unique.
I don't know. Well, sure. It's like it's a little
Like I feel like I randomly found myself in.
with this dude.
No, like I wasn't like, oh, we're gonna make a YouTube channel. Like
I do
Yeah, it
think
probably
there's
works because not because we intended it to work, but
exactly.
because
Yes.
the ingredients were there to make it work.
That's right.
That's very
That's
true. I think
funny.
finding a partnership is pretty complex because you want to kind of like enough of the same things, like each other enough that you want to
Mhm.
keep working on all the things together,
And
and
be able to do it.
yeah, and
And
have
it's
the
like
skills to do it. Yeah,
and
it's kind
have
of
the
like
patience to do it, which because a
yeah.
lot of this takes a really long time to even
Hmm.
physically make it. Yeah, just a lot of things need to align that I think a lot of times it feels easier to go, I'm just going to do it myself because it's so much effort.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's a question. There's a $1 million question on Blue Sky at Malcolm Manny Shear asks, "What's a cool thing you've done outside of animation in your life?"
Made a little kid cry in a chess game or no?
I've made more people cry in animation than outside of animation.
You're
Wait,
keeping track.
Oh no.
let me think. What's something cool that I've done?
Maybe I can think of something for you and you can think of something for me and that'll make it easier. Matt wrote a poetry book.
That's
No
still like art
way.
related. I'm trying to think of something like,
Well, it's outside of animation.
okay.
You don't think that counts? Watching you stared.
I think about most of the stuff I think of.
One time I flew a plane.
Yeah, Megan's done
Oh, heck
that.
yeah.
It's all like in the swarm of all the things that you've done when you were at a period of time when you were really, really busy in life, where like you had six different
Meeting you was
orchestras,
pretty cool.
six different orchestras that you were playing for.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like I'm talking
Yeah,
about
that's
like the
sick.
cool stuff that Megan's done.
I just was a very stacked, busy child.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of things. I
hmm
but
She made varsity freaking softball team stuff in her freshman year,
no, in
like
middle
in
school.
middle school. Yeah. Uh,
That stuff's that's
Megan's
but
an
that,
athlete.
I wouldn't be, I'm not trying
That's
to
cool stuff. It's cool stuff to be. She hit a home run.
Wait,
I've never hit a home
listen,
run
listen.
before.
You keep listing hers. Like we
What
you
about
you
you?
got it. What about you? You were like,
I'm
no, it's not
following the
poetry.
rules that you set
I
out,
was saying
Meg.
meeting you was pretty cool.
Oh, well, yeah,
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
not bad. That's all right. Go to your friends' birthdays, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
You meet your friends as friends. They're probably pretty cool. Um,
I think we're just not the kinds of people who would go, I'm so cool. Like, I think that's the hurdle right now, is that I think both of
Yeah.
us really view ourselves as being not cool in a lot of ways.
and not like uncool, just not.
Just not, yes,
Yeah,
yes. So that's probably the hurdle. So
yeah.
maybe if it was a different word, it would be easier.
Trying
I
to
mean,
think of.
nerds can still think their nerd stuff is cool to them. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
cool is relative, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you might think that cool chess combo you did, that super hit special combo and you did on chess is cool. And yeah, like some guy wearing sunglasses might be like, yeah, right. But I mean, it might be cool to
Mm.
you
It's
or
also,
interesting. Is interesting the word?
Maybe something you really liked.
I don't know.
You're starting to really reveal how much we work.
But something cool outside of animation. I'm trying to think of something cool outside of animation that like happened recently and wasn't just like in your, in our college life or stuff like that.
Hmm.
I tried to walk to San Francisco and hitchhiked a little bit.
That's really
Um,
cool.
that was
Er,
fun,
with
and I had really inflamed knees for a while after that. Yeah, I have. That's like an expression of the deep teen lonely boy. That's in there somewhere. But yeah. I guess that was. Yeah, I'll say that. What about you?
I don't know.
yeah,
It's a difficult question.
That's why it's $1 million. You gotta
exactly.
you gotta be able to answer it to get the
It's a
$1 million.
real test. Oh gosh.
I'm going with Walk to San Francisco.
I don't know. I'm at a loss.
I'll
That's
be
all. That's
thinking of this.
okay.
I'll be thinking of this
Yeah.
because I want that $1 million as we go on to the other
You
questions.
guys both listed a whole bunch of
The
fun
really
facts
cool
about yourself,
things.
and
Yeah.
that's all we want. That's all we wanted. We
Yeah.
should have moved on to another question like five
It's
minutes ago.
true.
After you were like,
Plan.
I made a poetry book, and I walked to San Francisco, and I beat a little kid in chess, and I
I
was in
Yes.
didn't. I
six
didn't make it.
orchestras. Like, yeah, okay, we move on.
I didn't make it to San Francisco. I don't want anyone to be
Just the
thinking.
attempt.
Yeah, I just tried. I did like 30 something miles the first day and wrecked my knees, and then had to get picked up by some friends.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, like whenever you want to wrap this up, it's fine. Like I'm not. I'm also not trying to rush you guys out. Just like, yeah.
We are ramping down, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well let's wrap it up with the final question from our listener on YouTube, Hudson B PD3UD. By the way, Hudson, thank you so much for commenting on every video and for asking questions for guests all the time. We see you. We really much appreciate you
Yeah,
for
Hudson.
Hudson.
Yes.
So Hudson asks, what do you find to be the hardest thing about making art?
Were you thinking time?
Yeah.
Having time to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. I think
Look at
that's.
you thinking. I think
I
it's
think
just
that's it. I mean,
I
I
think
think
it's time.
for me personally, I am really intimidated learning new programs. Like I've
Mm,
been trying to learn freaking grease pencil on Blender
For like
for,
5 years.
however
mm.
long that it's entered my consciousness.
Yeah, we make everything in Flash.
Me too.
Um,
Still.
but like, yeah, the main thing is time, finding resource, and
Hmm.
uh, just getting to do it because getting to make art is like essential. It's also like a privilege of having the time and the resources to do it. So like
Mhm.
it's just nice to be able to do, but finding that nice is it can be really challenging sometimes.
I do think one of the nice things about that I feel grateful for because we're both doing this professionally is that time that you spend trying to get better at something we do, because we're doing it all day at work also, the
Right.
hours really accumulate quickly as opposed to only doing it in our spare time and doing something
Hmm.
else during the day. I think
Yeah.
like I don't even know how many episodes of TV I've like essentially edited at this point, but that's like hours and hours of repetitions. I think like something that's very common that we talk about is that a lot of things just take reps.
Yep. It's all
Yeah.
about the
It's all
reps.
about the reps.
Yep.
Like a
All
lot
about
of
the
this is
reps.
about reps, and we get a lot of reps. So every time we're doing those reps, and because it's like 10 years each worth of reps, when we go to actually make the thing, it goes a lot faster because we've accumulated the experience doing it. And I think we've got to multiply that experience because we're also doing it during the day.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think that helps with the time in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
I wish muscles worked accumulatively like that. You just
No,
like keep
muscles are
getting
like, you
stronger
gotta
through the
beat me up,
years.
bro. Then you gotta keep beating me up. And then maybe I'll grow a little bit.
What?
That's how muscles work. You gotta like break up your
Tear it apart.
fibers. Yeah, and then they're like, all right, fine, bro, I'll grow.
All right, thanks
Dude.
for beating me up and pushing me.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit bigger. My knees are inflamed and I feel
It's
stronger.
kind of like that. You get feedback. It's kind of like hurts a little
Every time we
sometimes.
go to the notes, say, oh, you take these notes. Duh.
Yeah, it's like reps like that. The
I
same
guess
way.
so. I
Yeah.
guess so. Yeah. We
Anything?
both watch a lot of sports, so I think sometimes we think of ourselves
Yeah, we
as
don't watch a
like
lot of animation. A lot of our time is spent, I would say, like the stuff we watch is mostly sports. Like
That's
Yeah, doing jock
funny.
stuff, doing cool jock stuff.
mostly right now baseball, which is actually hilarious. Right? Matt watches a lot of sumo. I'll watch like we're watching some hockey for a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, we went to
Um,
Canada recently and saw a bunch of hockey and
yeah, we're
got into
watching
it for a
some
bit.
hockey. I could watch pretty much. I could also feel like I could watch pretty much anything. But I think like the nice thing about sports is sort of similar to like live streams where it's like there are all these people. Also, the thing about sports is there's people who are incredibly good at what they're doing,
And yet
who
they
have done,
still fail all the time.
but they've
Yeah.
also done like the
Mhm.
most amount of reps. And I think in some ways we like view ourselves like we're not like
You're
not
animation
anything
athletes.
like that, but like sort of like in a mindset of being an athlete. I think
You're just like
because
that.
we're doing it during the day, the way we view work is sort of like being an athlete of like especially it's
Mm.
like we have these like seasons that we're working on and you're trying to like have the longevity of being able to like do this amount of work and you got to like take care of yourself and sort of like where you show up to practice every day or whatever it is. Like I think it's sort of like the way we sort of view some of that stuff. And I think you see like how much hard work someone's put into their whole life, and then you're seeing this like very split moment that they're reacting to something is like very interesting. So I think
Mm.
we end up watching a lot of sports for that reason,
So
which
true.
is not the most popular thing I'd say.
For animation, but it's
There's
okay.
not a lot of people who
It's
like watching.
it's just like a way of like understanding what we do,
Mm.
and it's been
One
helpful.
time I was like on a group chat at work and I was like, anybody watching basketball? And they're like, basketball dot dot anime?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I think sports anime are very, very popular with artists, but they don't.
Yes.
They
Kuroko's
don't.
basketball?
So sometimes it's hard to find the relating to, but there's people out there. I don't know, I just like watching lots of different stuff and that includes like sports or watching a lot of like sometimes I just watch like long videos of like restaurant footage of people like preparing the food to then run the restaurant.
Oh my God. This is good. This has gone from the first time sports has been integrated into a creative block answer to to I don't even know where we're going, but I like it. It's creative and we're getting new answers that we've never gotten before ever on creative block.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys want to plug before we wrap?
Read V's comics.
Ah,
Yes.
stop.
Yes, both of your
Your thing.
work.
Your things. What's the best platform? What is the platform that you would rather have your audience on? Like your favorite platform?
YouTube.
They can subscribe to Creative Block on Patreon.
Ah, ah.
And on
You're
YouTube.
gonna get the best split on Patreon, so please subscribe.
Hey. Seriously, we really need you guys' help.
Yeah, we don't have
Oh.
anything upcoming in the near future, but we'll keep making stuff. I think that thing that you were saying about momentum and algorithm, like we got to rebuild that momentum a little bit.
Mm.
So we have a bunch of things that we're working on that we'll start releasing soon. Um, but yeah, I can show you on camera. This is our little character guy.
So
That,
cute.
This
that
little
rules.
dumb bird.
Have you
Let's
ever
see.
thought of making like plushies or merch? I think like when you have really cute characters like that, it's such a good opportunity.
If this character
We talked about it.
warrants it.
I think there's like a financial investment to it, and I
Yeah.
think we're both
Yeah.
very risk averse. So I think sometimes I go like, if we're gonna make something, I want to make something that's like useful. So if no one buys it, like we can still use
We
it.
could
So
also do like a small run. I was talking with Jesse Moynihan,
Mm-hmm.
who boarded on our show, and he's like, "Yeah, I have like these body pillows that I made."
That's so funny.
And
That's why I
it's
draw the
like,
now you
line.
can decorate your whole house with
yeah,
like your own.
yeah, it's like having a room full of body pillows is not bad, but also he only just made 10 of them.
Like,
If
that is a good number.
if you did like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower risk.
like a short release, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
I want
gotta
one of those body
you gotta make
pillows.
like little bird spatulas or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like it's got to be
Yeah.
some oven mitts that are shaped like the bird.
Well, that's why, like
True.
you were talking earlier about the commerce question, and I'm like, I think that if there was a commercial thing that I'd want to make, it probably is the trading cards.
Right. Yeah.
So like I think
And then
that
I want to make a deck of cards.
yeah,
That's something I really want to make.
with
Is
like
like one deck of
characters and
cards
stuff like
that
that, 'cause
had
it's just more useful. People can play
Hmm.
it. There's not the lower bar of
yes,
entry.
it'd be like a Matt and Meg's card deck, and then all the different cards would have like all our different characters on it, like as you go through the deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like a
I'd like to make.
classic card deck. I wasn't sure if you
Yes.
meant like your Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
head or something.
I want to make like ultimately like
Matt
a
wants to
trading
make like a
card
trading
game.
card game, and I want to make
Hmm.
like just an actual card deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's all just like that stuff is experimental. We're still very early in this, so we're
Hmm.
just like I think probably just mostly trying to make stuff we like and have fun and like not worry about too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
awesome.
nice.
Love
Yeah.
it. Well, thank you so much, Matt and Megs, for coming on the show, being our guest and sharing your story.
Yes, thank you for asking so many questions and having interest.
Yes, nice to meet you, V and Lord Spew.
Nice to meet you also. And also nice to meet our listeners. Follow us on social media at CRTV Block, where we ask drawing prompts and questions to ask our guests. Huge thanks to our editor Clemens for editing the podcast, Marco for helping us produce the show, and Abuka for creating the short clips we've been putting online.
If you love our show, you can support us on Patreon. Becoming a patron gets you early access to interviews and access to our Discord community. Another great way you can support us is to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, so we can get more ears on the podcast. And yeah, click the link in the description of this episode to find our Patreon and all of Matt and Meg's socials. I've been your host, V.
And I was Sean. Keep being the vehicle for change and for notes, and keep being an instrument of change. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.